going to start this live stream in a different manner. I'm switching the camera around. There's a little bird. I think it's called. Okay, so what I'll do is I will come back here after this live stream, and if the bird is still there under my woolly hat, I will take the bird inside and see if I can do something. Maybe it's hungry. Sometimes they crash into windows and they just need a little bit of time out inside where it's warm. So, okay, I discovered that little bird there just as I was starting the live stream. Okay, time to Boogaloo. I just learned that expression. It is depending on who you ask. If you ask someone on the left, they will say it's a far right expression to about rebelling against the government. I say that it's a very funny word, and it's about time we do it. Now, suddenly it's about time. We need to Boogaloo, and also, yeah, let me put this into context. Let me put it into context. As I was uploading the video on my main channel yesterday, I read on the news. Hi there, Trish. Well, good to see that you're here. I read on the news that the Norwegian government are trying to implement what they call crisis law, which means that they will set aside the parliament, and depending on which country you're in, some places they call it the National Assembly. It's the people's representatives. When you have a democracy, you vote for your representatives, right? And it works like this. A government cannot do what they like. Everything needs to be voted upon in the parliament, right? So, yes, I'm seeing the comments, and thanks for all the comments in the chat. I just need to get through this little explanation to put everything into context here. So you have a parliament and you have a government, and the parliament votes so that the government never gets to become almighty. You know, they can't just do what they like. They need more than 50% of the votes, and for constitutional matters 2/3 of the votes in the parliament. And what troubles me now, and this troubles me greatly, is that it seems like all the major political parties in Norway, they agree that they will set aside the parliament and give the government full and complete power to implement laws and regulations. So it didn't take long before professors in law started criticizing them and saying that this is quite extreme and it's very unwise. We should not let them do that. One of those professors gave an example. For instance, he wrote, if such a law is implemented, parliament is set aside, the Norwegian government could decide that every infected person gets put into some kind of camp like they did in China, and they could be left to die in there. He also wrote that I'm not saying they are going to do that, but they can if such a law is implemented. This troubles me, and there's been quite a few days now where I've been hesitant to say it, because we're in quite a serious situation with the plague, but it doesn't take, you don't need to be very intelligent to understand that the government could become a much greater problem actually than a plague if we give them unrestricted power. And we only need to look back at history, you know. So that's what I wanted to say. And Boogaloo is, as I already explained, it's a word I just recently learned. I looked it up. It's a funny word, and not everyone understands it. So it's a code word for us extremists, extreme people who value individual freedom. Such an extreme thing to believe in, right? Trond Sverre, good morning, and Andrew, good morning there. You know what, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to pick up the little bird and put it in my pocket, because I think maybe it's cold, you know, so yeah. So let me do that. The big problem with something like this happening is that now I used the plague as a code word here, okay? Because of YouTube, you know how they are. But also it was compared with the plague by a scientist 2 days ago on TV. It's more like, actually it's more like the plague than the flu. So there's that. So someone called me woke. I even know what that word means. I don't think I am. I think that's you're trying to tease me a little bit, because maybe I used such a word in the headline there. I don't care. But I do care about the fact that they might set aside the parliament. And they wanted to, and listen to this, they wanted to have that law implemented to start with until the end of next year. So that's you know, what can I say? I don't think that's, I'm actually surprised that they dare to do that. And I've been reading in the comments section in the news, those comment sections, they haven't closed down, and I would say 2/3 were negative to giving the government all power. And you have the idiots, right? You always have those, so they can't really see what's going on. So no, I don't have a plan. I'm just saying that at some point now, you know, I'm not a rebel, I'm just a family father. Right now I've been working half the night because I have a deadline, and you know how it is. So that's why I'm up early. It's 6 o'clock, I think, here in Norway. But it's like, if your government changes and becomes something you don't approve of, if the distance between your values and your government's values becomes too great, then by definition you become a rebel, even though you didn't change. So let's go back to for instance Germany in the 30s. If you were a decent human being and disapproved of what regime was doing, you would be considered a rebel, right? And you would be punished for that. So I'm not saying we're there, but when you set aside the parliament, you are getting close. Okay, even though the intentions might be good, you know, might be that they are doing this with the best intentions, but it's like it's a slippery slope, right? So yeah, so let's see how the little bird is doing. And yes, logo 7, road to hell is paved with good intentions. That's completely right. The bird is not doing well. I will stop this live stream now, and I will take the bird inside and see if I can help it. Okay, in some way. Okay, I'll have to hurry. Thanks for joining the live stream. Bye bye.